This couple got a little carried away decorating their kitchen.
We've created this space, and now we come in here and we're like, ah!
Which designer has a plan to unmask this kitchen's full potential? Stay tuned. Welcome to Designer's Challenge. I'm Chris Harrison. Mike and Lori Pond moved into their Tudor Revival house in Eagle Rock, California over a decade ago. With 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, they knew the space had a lot of potential.
We both really like older architecture and a house that has a good structure, good bones to it. That's what really interested me about this house.
The house is over 75 years old, and it seemed to me that we could really make it into something that we could call our own.
We love to explore various points of the world, and we love to decorate our home with all the art that we find there and bring a part of the world back with us.
My favorite room in the house, I would have to say, is the living room, because
he likes to lie on the couch and zone out.
That's the most important part of the living room. But also, it's a large room, and it gives plenty of room for us to stuff with all our goodies.
The room that we probably dislike the most, that is a challenge room for us, is our kitchen. Here we are in our kitchen, and we always have to enter through our Balinese temple doors. We've created this space, and now we come in here and we're like, ah!
A lot of time in the kitchen just kind of standing around cooking and washing dishes, and
so we want to have stuff we like to look at.
Something that's fun. It takes the drudgery out of the whole thing.
We would like to replace this linoleum in the kitchen with something that would be typical of the time period that the house was built. And as far as the counters, we're really interested in looking into getting some really nice ceramic tile.
One of the challenges of the kitchen is incorporating some of the newer technology. We have a nice stereo in here, but it's very modern looking. So the concern is how we're going to get that to fit into kind of the old kitchen look.
Because this is an older house, we kind of think it would be weird to have modern looking appliances, but I really am not in favor of using an authentic stove as much as it looks good.
Besides new appliances, they also want to do something about the old cabinetry.
This doesn't close really well, and the paint's chipping, and it's like generations of dirt on there. And also these cabinets, you open them up and it's like, there's stuff from 1950 back in there. You know, there's like, I can't even see what's in the back there, and I'd kind of like to. The other consideration we have is our loads of folk art that we want to have a nice display for. So what we're thinking about is perhaps having one of those greenhouse type windows. And we're also considering perhaps taking out this wall here that divides a hallway and the breakfast nook.
We purchased a table overseas in Indonesia, and we really like it. It's probably a little bit too big, and so something's got to give.
Hopefully the wall, because the table has to stay.
Mike and Lori have budgeted $50,000 to update their kitchen. Let's meet the designers who are ready to take on the project. First in the hot seat is designer David Levine of B. David Levine Designs. He has a background in fine arts and architectural design.
I like to really work with a client to make their dream come true. I'm like a chameleon. When I'm listening to the client, I become them while I'm working on their design. Mike and Lori are a lot of fun to design for because they want things in their kitchen that people just don't want today. Everybody today wants granite counters. They want the traditional California Malibu type tile, and they want things that are different.
We'll see what the designers want to keep and what they want to change when we come back. But is the couple ready for the frustrations ahead?
I think it would be really good if you could be here. I don't want to handle this myself.
Mike and Lori have challenged 3 designers to modernize their kitchen without losing all its charm. First to take a crack at this kitchen is designer David Levine, whose plan is all about balance.
I have designed you a kitchen that looks like it's always been a part of the house, but has been freshened and lived in over the years, and it's actually a background for your folk art gallery. I laid it out so that you actually have 3 basic areas, but I've removed the wall that was in here. Now you have basically your task area over here, and you have like a den breakfast area over here, which incorporates eating, a banquette. And you have a utility area back in here.
David centers the stove and the sink opposite each other in the front of the space. A bay window above the sink will give them an area to show off their collectibles.
When we took this wall out, we kept the space of the original, I guess, the ice box that was in the house. And we're going to incorporate a piece of stained glass into the original door. And the stained glass will look like this over here. And then inside of it, it will be the wine bottles. And we have a little door and a little pull-out in there. So what we've created here for you is a little banquette area. And we've kept your original table. And we want to fill the whole corner with pillows. And then just have different kinds of ethnic kind of patterns and bright colors. And then all along the top, we have a plate ledge or a shelf, all placed to display your folk art. This is an amazing thing. This is a reproduction of an antique grate, a ceramic grate, for covering your heating ducts.
Wow.
I was hoping to put one of these on the duct that's so prominent in your ceiling.
That's
this
really
is just,
cool.
But I just thought it would give a tremendous amount of texture to the room.
Yeah, it's so different.
David suggests a walnut floor with the planks running the shorter width of the room to visually widen the space. Red countertop tiles laid on the diagonal would have a similar effect.
And we've created a plaster hood over the stove with a tile inset and an arch that mimics the arches in the house. And it will have decorative tiles that will run in the middle of it.
The wall color looks like blue on there.
Yes, this is the color for the wall, and we'll wrap that color up onto the ceiling and down the walls. And then the cabinetry will be this sort of off-white against it, that sort of creamy tone.
And it's just amazing how you put together all of our concerns. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you. It's
and all
been
your
so
effort.
much fun, and it's been a great challenge. Thank you.
Mike and Lori were surprised to discover how different 3 designs for the same kitchen can be. They've had a week to think things over and are finally ready to name a winner.
Well, we decided to go with David because he really was able to take all the millions of ideas that we had and somehow make sense of all of it. And I think it's really going to work well.
Considering our needs, it's going to be a good trick.